All right, so I wanted to make that video because I think the new patch note is actual garbage and is going to be the reason why I won't be playing Path of Exile this season. And I have played all the seasons of Path of Exile uh, in the past 3 years. This is going to be the first one. Maybe I will touch it in the middle of the season if I have time. But I've decided that there's just not enough change in the game for me to go back there because and I will explain why. I'm gonna try to make this video a short one because like 15 minutes if I can, because I just don't want to move on to like a too long thing. But the changes are so retarded, there is so much to be said about them that it's hard to resume everything in 15 minutes, but I will try. So basically, we're going to go for the meat and gravy. First of all, ascendancy-wise, nothing has changed. Ascendancies that were underused last league are not going to be used more this league. It's going to be the same shit. Basically, all they changed is they adjusted poison for assassin because they buffed poison, which is one of the biggest change. But then they nerfed the only ascendancy you could basically use poison with, or one of the only ascendancy you could use poison with, to adjust them so that instead of 50% more poison damage, you're going to go up to 25 with the new adjustment. I'm just doing an average. This is going to be the first thing. I'm going full lazy here. I know my light is absolute garbage. I need to buy a new light, but you know, I'm too lazy. So now bear with me. Because I know it looks like shit. Whatever. And so that's for ascendancies. The only thing they removed the option for us to get immunity to ailments in a number of ways. So this is very simply what they've changed for ascendancy. So other than that, nothing. We're gonna go the items. Like the items is basically the most retarded change they've done. I don't understand. Like last league was the league people quit the fastest. I've never seen streamers stop playing as fast as I did last league, and now they're doing the same kind of shit. And they quit it because when you modify the patch to put a lot of stuff, it doesn't need to be new. Just swapping a couple of numbers around, making stuff more fun, and opening more builds, because the items are build defining in a lot of cases, makes it so that you're like, okay, I'm gonna have fun trying that build. It doesn't even have to be an exciting league. It's just as like you're trying something that's going to be new and fun. But they didn't last league because there wasn't enough modification to a lot of shit, and now it's the same thing. No modification to any item whatsoever. The only thing that have been changed is some cluster jewels, and the flask system basically are the only item changed. So anything you didn't see used ever, like Queen of the Forest and like every single stuff that would have needed a buff, because nobody is going to use them because they're garbage. Every boot, glove, helmet that you know that are never going to be used, chests, because they're not meta and they suck. They're not like I don't understand. They changed Mjolnir too, which is nice, but it's only one item. They changed a couple, but the big majority of everything stayed the same. And when I'm really gonna talk quick about the flasks change, because it is simple. People are over analyzing it. It's very simple. They nerfed everything in flasks. So if you nerfed everything in flask, I don't know in what way you think this is going to make the game better. Because I saw in the manifesto that they were talking about like making it so people don't have to piano their flask. I'm like, dude, if you nerf the damage, it's not going to change anything. We're still and they upgraded the timer by like a second on the flasks charge or something like that. Or they have more charge, or I don't remember, but it's just going to make it like, it's not going to make me not want to use flasks, because you're still going to have to piano your goddamn keyboard because you still want those flasks up. They're just not going to be as impactful. Do you think people are going to be like, oh, flasks are not as strong anymore, so I don't need them, I'm not going to use them as much? No, you're going to be clearing that map, you're going to have a hard time, so you're going to be like, I need my flask, and you're going to piano your keyboard. It's just a retarded way to, I think, well, it does make the game harder because mobs are going to be harder to kill. So in that sense, it's okay. But the thing about us not having to cramp our wrists on flasks, it's like double the time that we have flasks up. Now we're talking. Like, I'm not gonna have to press the buttons as much. But nerfing the damage and usefulness of the flasks, nope. They also nerfed movement speed a lot. A lot of people were using movement speed. I'm not sure what I feel about this. I'm a guy who likes clear speed, and I was using movement speed mostly because they nerfed every other movement skill a lot. So movement speed was the one, especially if you're a caster, that felt great. They nerfed dash too. They nerfed flame dash. I think it's just gonna make people who play melee after a while just use whirlwind blade because it's going to be the fastest, and it's not gonna have that much impact. Like, skills who are still fast are going to be fast. There's going to be a fast pace to the game, like if they didn't touch flicker strike. So basically, if you want to clear maps super fast and you have a lot of budget, you know, you don't need quicksilver when you're using flicker strike. But I digress. This is just my opinion on the movement speed. But like, the changes they made to the basic stuff of the patch is garbage. Other than ascendancies and item, which makes no fucking sense in the beginning, now we go to the meat of the thing, the skills. They added a lot of new skills. Props for that. Good. We like new skills. The thing is, there's already a shit ton of skill in the game that are underused or never used. And it's like, why are those skills not getting buffed? I don't get it. Like, I don't have to name them. You guys know, like, all the non-meta skill that you don't use because they're the underdog, and the reason that they're the underdog is because the damage is just not there. It's like, why are those not getting a buff? Why? I could have a ton of example here of why, like, those skills are not getting buffed. Of what skills are not getting buffed. What I don't understand is, like, why do you nerf skills like Bane that I love, and I always wanted to do another build with only Bane, and it can only be used as a secondary damage because the main damage of Bane is garbage, and they nerfed it. Go figure. And they're going to buff other skills like double strike, dual strike. What? Wait for it. Earth shatter, like it needed a buff. Earthquake, all those skills are getting buffed. Is Earthquake not meta in terms of damage? Like, the only reason people are not playing Earthquake is because they clear as shit. But if you want to melt a boss in one shot, you could just Earthquake the fuck out of it. Like, do those guys not watch videos of builds of people with absolutely no exalts whatsoever, just building something with yellow items and one-shotting the Shaper with a Earthquake build? It's going to be super slow, but it's going to one-shot stuff. It's very powerful. It's a powerful skill, and they still buffed it. It's like, that's why I say it's nonsensical. I don't understand. I just don't. Discharge got nerfed for sure because the new way it worked, we all knew it was going to be too strong, so they nerfed it. That's fine. But in everything else, it's like, what are we doing here? A little buff to Cyclone, which again doesn't need a buff in terms of damage, in my opinion. More clear speed would have been nice, but they're trying to lower that into the ground. So my point here, I'm gonna go over all of them, but you know, even Lacerate, like it had a problem in damage with Lacerate. It's like, dude, no, this thing was strong enough as it is. Exploding knife, you know, the blast thing, it didn't get nerfed. What's it? I have a blank. Blade Blast. Jesus Christ. Blade Blast didn't get nerfed. It was so meta last league. Everything that was meta, other than golems, and what was the other one? There's like two skills who got nerfed that were golem and another skill that I'm not using. Oh yeah, mine and traps. Golems, mine and traps. Other than that, they got buffed. Golem got nerfed. Other than that, it's business as usual. Nothing changed. Nothing changed. Skills that were powerful are more powerful. Skills that were shitty didn't get any buff. It just doesn't make you want to use those skills because it's still trash. They did the only positive thing I see in this patch is that they've reopened the possibility for totems to be great. It might be overpowered, it might be underwhelming, but at least it's there. At least you have a chance to be able to use totems again. So that's like the only thing. Other than that, they made the game slower. They nerfed poison. They nerfed flasks. Like overall, we're going to do less damage. And they just buffed stuff that didn't need buffing, and they didn't buff what did need buffing, and we have no change whatsoever in items. So I'm like, why would I try this league? Like, I would have to take a new skill that they took and like go ham on it and just hope it works, which it mostly never does. Like, you have one skill out of the 10 new they spawned last league that were actually good to use into endgame. I don't know. I just think that this is the worst patch we've ever seen. And I'm already uninterested by like Path of Exile in general, because I've played, like, I do this as a streamer. I've played a lot of it, and it's like, I think I'm done. Like, I want to play it more, but I want to try new shit. But what you're giving me again is the same old patch, the same skill. I have the same meta starter choice. I have the same meta endgame choice. Maybe items, the new items are going to unlock some new possibility of builds, but it's probably not going to be build defining. It's just going to be like upgrades to old builds that already work, that are just going to be stronger because of an item. Like, it's, you know what I mean? It's like, move things around. Skills. Why is there no winter orb buff? Like, winter orb movement speed has been nerfed to the ground. Like, winter orb has not been used in ages. Buff it. That's just one skill out of so many that are not being used right now. In the meantime, Blade Blast stays the same. Blade Vortex stays the same. Everything, like Earthquake gets buffed, and it's been meta for like 3 leagues now. People just start Earthquake because it rocks. Like, bleed builds strong. Oh, you know what I mean? Everything stayed the same. It's there's minor changes. I'm not gonna enumerate them all. I'm just like, Reeve got buffed, but I mean, why would you go Reeve, you know, when you have so much stronger buff scaling skill available? It got buffed. Why would you, you know? For the clear, yeah, it's cool for the clear. It's gonna be better, but I mean, it's so gonna be so underwhelming compared to other stuff. So that's all I had to say. I just wanted people, like, go in the comments, explain to me why I'm wrong. Like, give me, if you're mad too, get your feedback out there. Like, I really want to play this game. It's just I don't have any incentive to, because everything I want to try hasn't changed. So I know it's gonna be the same old shit, and I'm like, am I going to start the same thing again? Like, am I like I'm going to gamble on one of the new skills that they put out that we have no data on? And then, like, and it's what, like, I'm gonna have 2 more builds to try this thing? It's not enough. You gotta shuffle things around. Give me like 12, 20, 30 items modified so that I can try new stuff. Like, you know, it's, I don't know. Give me your comments. I want to know if I'm the only one who's going crazy about it. From what I've seen, a lot of people are unhappy about the changes, but not for the same reason. So go in the comments, tell me what's up. Maybe I will play it. If I do play it, you're probably going to see a build guide. I didn't put, by the way, I didn't put any for my subscribers out there. I didn't put any build the last season, because I tried and I played a lot. I tried a ton of build. I invested a ton of currency on just trying stuff, and I didn't find anything that was super good or just different from what was already out there. So I didn't want to cheat anybody and just putting a build out that was garbage. So, you know, or just like the same thing as another YouTuber put out, and just with some things modified, it made no sense. So thank you for watching. Go in the comments, tell me what's up, and I want to have your opinions. Peace.